Okay, now we're going to be building part one of the Automoblox Windshield. It is activity 5.2b and it starts on page 5. So to do that, we're going to have to make sure we're in our Automoblox project folder. And then we're going to go to a new. We're going to get a standard part. And mine aren't saving correctly, but that won't affect you. When we're on here, we're going to create a new sketch. And we're going to be able to draw the profile that we see on page 5 of 5.2b. Now, remember, if I go too quickly for you, you can always pause or rewind to see if you missed something. So I'm going to start with the horizontal line that it makes up this windshield, and I can see that it's 3.04 inches long. Enter. Zoom out. My scroll button, zoom out, so that I can get things in the approximate right shape. Now when I go to draw the rest of this shape here, when I look at my dimensions, I see that they aren't straight lines, they are in fact arcs. So when I go up to my drawing tools, I can see I have lines, circles, arcs. Arc is what we want. We can see we can draw a few different types of arcs. However, 3-point arc is what we want. So we're going to start with our first arc, which is a pretty long arc here. It is you choose the first position, the second position, and then you put the radius in there. So notice I can bend it this way or this way. I want it bent this way, and I can type in my radius from here. I'm going to go make my second radius, my second arc, excuse me. First point, second point is somewhere down here. I guess I won't go very far. And that radius should be 0.4. Make sure it's bent the right way, because right now you see it though it's not. Actually, escape from this. I'm going to get it bent the right way. 0.4. Enter. Now, if you have trouble getting that 0.4 in there, I suspect that your line is too long, and it won't let you have a 0.4 radius on the 2 points that are too far apart. So what you'll need to do is draw another arc with a shorter distance. But that works, so we're going to keep going and make my third and final arc from the end of this arc to my first point and get my radius going in the right direction. That is a 6 radius as well. Now I'm going to put the dimensions that are on my page 5 of activity 5.2b. Simply from this point out here to the intersection of these two arcs. It's hard to see, but that little green dot comes off there. And then again, I'm going to do, I don't like the, I was still drawing arcs, my bad. So let's do dimension. I'm going from this bottom line to that intersection. And this dimension should be 0.610. And I'll go from this bottom line to this top intersection right here. This line on my drawing is way over here. It should be 1. Okay, but that's okay. We'll make that work. The dimension from this point to this point way over here is going to be 3.01. Now it's looking like that's supposed to look. Then from this back point over here to the intersection of these two, click, 2.55. Fully constrained, it's the shape we want. However, if we went and extruded this now and then we tried to put fillets on these outside edges, it would have trouble with that because this arc and this arc and this arc and this arc aren't smoothly running together. So when it tries to put a fillet or a fillet on the edge here, it would have a funny little bump there and it wouldn't work. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to add this tangent constraint to make it a nice smooth curve. In order to do that, though, I have to take some of my current constraints off. So I'm just going to take 2 of my dimensions off. It really doesn't matter which 2, as long as it has to do with these 2 points right here. Now that I have those off, light green means not fully constrained. I can grab this tangent to constraint. I want this arc tangent to this arc. And then I want this arc tangent to this arc. Boom, everything is constrained. So now I can move on. That gets me, I believe, onto the next page, page 6 of 5.2. Going to finish my sketch, double click my scroll to zoom out. Zooms way out because of these dimensions that are on here that are 6 inches long, which no big deal. Oh, I guess that actually takes us to page 7. Tells us we need to extrude. Extrude that profile, only one profile, so it's selected. 2.55 is the distance, and that's good. Next step, third of the way down on page 7, to and I am going to put a 0.5. I'm going to expand this dialog box so I can put 0.5 in there. One to this curve and one to this curve. And I can preview it and look at it and say, yep, that's what it's supposed to look like. So I'm going to apply, and then I'm going to close this fillet because I don't have any more fillets to do. That looks good so far. The last thing I need to do is we need to shell this thing. This isn't made of solid plastic. This has a hollow underneath. So what we're going to do is go up to our modify panel, and we are going to find our shell command. And if your dialog box isn't fully expand it, and we can put in the thickness of our shell. It's just like the shell of an egg, you know, it's got a certain thickness. And this particular one, I believe, is 0.07 maybe? 0.07. Make sure you get that point in there, it won't work. 0.07. And I'm going to remove the face. I want to remove this face down here. Looks good to me. There we go. So that is, and I want to make sure that was in fact 0.07. And yep, to find the rest of the dimensions of this part, we're going to have to look at our Unit 5 Automoblox T9 dimension drawings. So the windshield is on the bottom of page 5. And in that drawing, I can see that the shell thickness of this is 0.07. So that is the first half of the Automoblox Windshield.